Stupid is as stupid does, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't fix stupid, more's the pity. Now the medical doctors are telling everybody that if you have obesity and type 2 diabetes, you're going to have a better outcome if you have a gastric bypass. But then, even if you do that, your type 2 diabetes or your obesity may in fact not get any better. But still, we want to increase the chances of having a positive outcome by cutting out your stomach. That's a good idea, right? No, it's a stupid idea. It's a juvenile idea. It's an old-fashioned, out-of-date, ridiculous idea. But it is consistent with the way that the medical doctors have been trained to think about the relationship between the human body and disease. Your medical doctor does not practice medicine. They practice allopathic medicine. Allopathic medicine is reductionistic. Allopathic medicine argues the body is a bag of biochemicals waiting to break, and when it does break, the body does not have the ability to fix itself. Reductionistic medicine argues that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry, and there is no such thing as a spiritual force, no such thing as the vital force, no such thing as the body's innate, built-in, God-given intelligence. Your medical doctor thinks that you're overweight because you have a stomach, and this is ridiculous. But because the medical doctors exist in the monopoly, because the medical doctors have legislated every other medical practitioner out of the field of medicine, labeled us as alternative quacks with back-of-the-bus training, everybody believes that what the medical doctors say is gospel, and we genuflect at the altar of their misbegotten medical philosophy every time we write another medical insurance premium check. It is nonsense. While we have been under the care of the MDs, obesity has skyrocketed. 30% of our kids are now obese. 33% of adults obese, not just overweight, obese. Can't be the doctor's fault, can it? Has to be the patient's fault. They've got the bad gene. That's what they've got. They've got stomachs that are too big. They're just plain lazy. Now, from the naturopathic point of view, we have a completely different understanding of these illnesses. Obesity isn't genetic. Type 2 diabetes isn't genetic. One does not leverage the other. These are not illnesses, one which causes the other. These are illnesses which are both caused by the same thing. It's like two different arms of the same octopus. Now, what do we do to help people with obesity? What do we do to help people with type 2 diabetes? We give the human body the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. If you're struggling with type 2 diabetes, it's because your body has run out of the minerals that it needs to metabolize blood sugar effectively. This was proven in 1957. The relationship between chromium, the trace mineral chromium, and blood sugar metabolism. Naturopathic physicians have patients who have been cured of type 2 diabetes all of the time. How do we do this? With medical nutrition. We give the body the raw materials it needs. We keep our fingers crossed and we see how far back the body bounces. By the way, was there anybody in Auschwitz that was overweight? Anybody in Dachau that was overweight? Doesn't matter what your race is, doesn't matter what your age is, doesn't matter what your genes are, doesn't matter what your pre-existing health conditions were. You don't eat, you lose weight. The main contributor to obesity, the secret that not even Oprah knows, is that if you are obese, the first thing you must consider is that your body is nutritionally starved. Your body knows that it's deficient in vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C. Your body knows that it's deficient in calcium and magnesium and zinc. Your body knows this. Your body keeps intimate measurements on these things. Your body knows what's happening. So when your body sees that you're running dangerously low on numerous essential nutrients, it makes you eat in the desperate attempt to fill the nutritional tank so your heart doesn't explode, your kidneys don't explode, your joints don't explode, you don't get an aneurysm. Your body needs raw materials to keep itself healthy, but the raw materials that your body needs are not all present in the food. They're not all present. Some are, most are not. So you go to Olive Garden because you must. You're starving. You eat 2,500 calories. You come home and 2 hours later you're hungry again. Why is that? Because the food that you ate did not have the nutrients necessary to fill your body's tank up. So you eat and 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 you gain weight and you gain weight and you gain weight. You can't stop eating, and then your medical doctor tells you that you're depressed or that you're lazy or that you need to exercise more. But when you do exercise more, it burns through your nutrient reserves even quicker, and now you're more hungry. You can't control it, and so now you think you do have a mental problem, so you go to the psychologist. The psychologist gives you psych meds. Do the psych meds fulfill your body's nutrient deficiencies? No. Now you're a doped out psych med zombie who's overweight. And if this continues, you develop type 2 diabetes because you're deficient in the trace minerals that your body needs to metabolize blood sugar. It's that simple. But what's the medical doctor's solution? Insulin and cut the stomach out. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks, doc. Well, listen, while we've been paying attention to the medical doctors, who, by the way, are really good at surgery, that's their wheelhouse. Thank God for trauma care. Thank God for surgery when it's necessary. Thank God for the sterile technique in the mattress suture and Novocaine, right? Thank God for a handful of antibiotics. This isn't a rage against conventional medicine. It's needing the right dog for the hunt. You wouldn't go to a chiropractor if you needed open heart surgery. That's not their thing. You shouldn't go to a medical doctor if you're suffering with obesity or type 2 diabetes, because they do not know what causes these illnesses, and their treatments are outdated, old-fashioned, juvenile, and completely inconsistent to the cause. While we have been leaning on the medical doctors exclusively for the last 100 years, obesity has accelerated, type 2 diabetes has accelerated. It's not because you have a bad gene, it's because you have a bad doctor. Fire your medical doctor now and educate yourself about the simple steps you can take with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition to give your body a fighting chance. Your body's ability to fix itself is greater than anybody has led you to believe. Give your body the stuff it needs to rally. And perhaps for the first time in your life, you will actually enter the game of healing, the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. For more on this and many other topics, visit glidden.healthcare and educate yourself, because in this instance, knowledge is in fact power and will provide you with the skill set necessary to give your body a fighting chance to get into the game of healing. I'll see you around campus.